Hi everyone. Firstly, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land upon which I work and live, the Yuwi people. I recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community. I extend this acknowledgement to all Aboriginal members of the Birri Nation and pay respects to elders past and present, as well as young emerging leaders, one of whom we have with us today. We're in conversation with Yuwi, Torres Strait Islander and Australian South Sea Islander artist Dylan Mooney on the eve of his opening of his Art Space Mackay exhibition Boundless. Armed with a rich cultural upbringing, Mooney translates knowledges and stories passed down to him through his art, which radiates with a sense of optimism, power and pride. Dylan, welcome. You're a proud Yuwi, Torres Strait and Australian South Sea Islander man from our region. How does your strong cultural upbringing inform your arts practice?
Well, I guess for me, growing up, hearing those stories, learning from my family, my grandfather, my aunties and my uncles, it's a good way to, back my research, what I've been working on. And it's a good way to just, continue learning about their stories and, letting the wider community hear those stories as well. Yeah.
I was thinking just that you give us this opportunity to learn those stories too through your work, and you get that amazing sense of pride and power that comes through your work. So I would think that cultural standing is kind of permeated throughout your practice. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. For me, my culture is, at the forefront of what I do. It's behind every work that I make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about why you chose the exhibition title for this exhibition? It's called Boundless. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I guess with in my general practice, I'm looking at our histories and the struggles that that my people have had to go through, and that what we still are going through, and we've had these boundaries and these boxes put around us through the years, and for me, I just want to talk about our resilience, our strength, how far we've come, and looking at where we are now. So I guess Boundless is talking about, we have no restraints now, no boundaries, no borders. We are telling our own stories, and we are making, we're paving our own futures.
Excellent. And that agency, I suppose, is so important, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
What's really exciting for us to have you here and exhibiting with us. So, yeah. The exquisite series of digital artworks behind us is your recent folio, Queer, Black and Here. Would you mind sharing the inspiration behind this series?
Yeah, so this work started 2 years ago, where I was, experimenting with digital art, and also exploring who I was as a queer First Nations person, and being more confident within myself, to share this work to the public. And so this work was, is based off, me and my partner, and also the experiences that I've lived through, and also, the people that I look up to as well. So that's where, the inspiration behind that work came from. Yeah.
Fantastic. We're so glad that we get to share it with everybody. The second part of your exhibition speaks directly to your Australian South Sea Islander heritage. The Assi story is a really important part of Mackay region's history and identity, and you've chosen to represent this through 3 portraits and a 4th image too. Can you talk us through these?
Yeah, so it's looking at past, present and history for me. I've chosen to, create works about my family. So I have my grandmother, my cousin, and my stepfather as well. And it's looking at, where we were, I guess my history, being a South Sea Islander person within the Mackay community, I guess the present day, where we are now, and I guess the future generation, what do I hope to see for our community? Where do I think, we will be, for future generations to look back and remember, who we were, or I guess making new identities for ourselves. And the sugar talks about, our histories, but also I think, I'm trying to start a conversation with our community. When we look to the future, is sugar all we want to be known for our past? When we have, like my cousin, who's, playing, football at a professional, I guess, age, and but yeah, I guess, we've done so much more work within this community, and yeah, just making comment about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love the titles of some of those portraiture pieces in this series. Can you tell me the titles of those works and who they relate to?
So The Wise relates to my grandmother. She was a very well-known South Sea Islander person within the Mackay community. She passed down a lot of knowledge, I guess, to her family. So I've, I guess, been learning from my family about who my grandmother was, because she passed away, when I was younger. And then so it's been great just learning about, more of my history and what my grandmother did for this community. And also we have the, is it the fast?
The fastest?
Yeah, the fastest.
Yeah.
So that relates to, my cousin speaking about, the football he plays and just watching him and all of that. Yeah. And then the next one, I'm terrible at remembering titles.
The Builder?
The Builder.
Is that right?
Yeah, so my mum's partner, my stepdad, Scott Bohr, so he was one of the South Sea Islanders that were a part of the South Sea Islander hut being built. He also, built a lot of, and restored a lot of the buildings around the Mackay region, out at Walkerston and Homebush. He helped out with the restoration with the mission hall on the way to Homebush as well. So yeah, just making light of, how our communities have done so much.
Yeah.
And we still are doing so much.
Absolutely. I think for me it's a great reminder that this Australian South Sea Islander community is still here and they're still thriving and they're contributing so much to this community.
Yeah.
They are really integral to the success of this region. So it's a beautiful series.
Yeah, thank you.
You mentioned the use of sugar, and I'm really interested in that because the exhibition Boundless that you have on at the moment is being held alongside your cousin, Jasmine Togo Brisby. And you're both Australian South Sea Islanders, and you both use sugar in your work. Can you speak a little bit about what that medium represents for you? You did touch on it earlier, but I'm really interested in that use of sugar. Obviously, it's such a big part of our kind of history. Yeah, what did you think about when you were employing the sugar in those works?
I was thinking about my history. What the first Australian South Sea Islanders had to go through, and then I guess also thinking about today. It's this household item, that people just use on a day-to-day basis, and I think it's I guess just making the wider community more aware of I guess how sugar came to be within Queensland and within Mackay. So yeah, I was just and I've always wanted to do work with sugar.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how, how I would do it. So it was a bit of experimentation for me.
Yeah.
So I want to continue and I guess keep building on from this series, and hopefully I can, I guess, take it further and build more on those themes and concepts. Yeah.
As a cane farmer's daughter, for me, it makes me think about what, like you said, all that trauma and all of that sort of turmoil and really hard labour that actually went into establishing our sugar industry. And I think that's a really important thing for all of us to reflect on, but especially people who live in this region, where it is such a big part of our space. What do you hope Mackay audiences will take or feel from your exhibition, Boundless?
I hope they get a sense of pride and I hope they get a sense of our history, Mackay's history. How this town was built. South Sea Islanders laid the foundation for this town. But I hope the audience goes out and does more research, about our histories and learning more about this town in the region. I hope they get excited, for the works, and
I know they will.
Hope it makes them think about, I guess, the future for themselves and for the community.
And I think as a gallery, we have a really important role to play there. I think contemporary art is such a great vehicle for educating people and introducing them to, to truth-telling and to explore things that might not be very comfortable, but are really important for us all to know. So I thank you, Dylan, for continuing to do this incredible work and for continuing this relationship with Art Space Mackay. We're very, very proud of you and we're super privileged to have you here.
No, thank you. It's been, great working with you and being able to give me the space to tell these stories for our community. And hopefully we can do more together.
I agree. Let's talk. So for anybody who would like to know a little bit more about Dylan's exhibition Boundless, we have this fantastic room brochure where Dylan has actually answered a few more questions about the work. It's available for sale here from the gallery for just $2, and you can also download a PDF copy from our website. I'd just like to say, please come in and take in these shows. Dylan's exhibition Boundless is on until the 20th of March. It's stunning. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.